What if the one who is trying to change is the only thing that never truly existed? What if every effort to improve yourself has been like rearranging furniture in a house that was never built? What if the voice inside your head, the one that worries, plans, regrets, hopes, is not you, but only a passing echo with no owner? And what if the deepest suffering of human life is not pain, not loss, not fear, but the simple assumption that there is someone inside who must be fixed, healed, completed, perfected? A seeker once sat before Nisargadatta Maharaj and asked a very sincere question, the kind that arises from genuine struggle, from years of effort, from the exhaustion of trying to become whole. He said, "Maharaj, I see my fears, my conditioning, my confusion. I see my anger, my attachments, my restlessness. I want to purify myself. I want to fix what is broken within me. Please tell me how to repair this self." And Maharaj looked at him with extraordinary simplicity and said, "You are trying to fix what does not exist." That statement is not philosophical. It is surgical. It does not comfort. It removes. Why would Maharaj say such a thing? Because from his direct seeing, the self that feels damaged, incomplete, or in need of improvement is not an entity. It is an activity, not a thing, a process, not a presence, a pattern. It is like a whirlpool in water. You see movement, shape, form, but there is no separate object there, only water moving in a certain way. The seeker, naturally disturbed, asked, "But Maharaj, I clearly feel myself. I experience my thoughts, my emotions, my personal history. How can you say the self does not exist?" And Maharaj would bring the attention back to something astonishingly simple. That sense of being a person is only a bundle of perceptions appearing in awareness. Sensations in the body, movements of thought, memory images, emotional waves, all of them observed, all of them changing, all of them appearing and disappearing. So the real question is not whether these experiences exist. Of course they do. The question is, where is the owner of them? Look carefully. A thought appears. Then it vanishes. An emotion surges. Then it dissolves. A memory arises. Then it fades. But the one you call me is never found as a stable presence. Only more thoughts about a me. Maharaj pointed again and again to this subtle error. The mind creates a narrative center, a fictional manager, and then suffers under its imagined problems. The seeker protested, "But if the self is not real, why does suffering feel so real? Why does fear grip me? Why does anxiety return again and again?" Maharaj would say, "Suffering is real as an experience. But the sufferer is assumed. Pain happens. Fear happens. But the idea, this is happening to me, the one who must be repaired, that is the illusion. It is like mistaking a shadow for an attacker. The body tightens, the heart races, the mind prepares for battle. But the enemy was never there, and so humanity lives in a strange psychological loop. First it imagines a separate self. Then it imagines that self is wounded. Then it begins a lifelong project of fixing, improving, purifying, strengthening, healing that imagined entity. An entire civilization of self-repair built around a conceptual ghost. This is why Maharaj's teaching feels so radical, because he does not offer a better method of fixing yourself. He questions the assumption that there is a self to fix at all. The seeker asked again, more quietly now, If there is no self, then who is listening to you right now? Maharaj would say, listening is happening. Awareness is present. Understanding may arise, but no separate listener is found apart from the hearing itself. In ordinary thinking, we assume experience belongs to someone. In direct observation, experience simply appears ownerless. The difference is subtle but immense. It is the difference between carrying a heavy load and realizing the load was never attached to you. But the seeker was not yet satisfied. He asked, if I stop trying to fix myself, won't I become passive? Won't life fall into chaos? Maharaj's response cuts even deeper. The idea that you are managing life is itself part of the illusion. Breathing happens. Digestion happens. Thoughts happen. Decisions arise. Life unfolds with unimaginable intelligence long before the thought, I am doing this, appears. Look closely. A thought to act appears, and afterward the mind claims authorship. The doer is always late. The commentator arrives after the movement. So Maharaj is not teaching passivity. He is revealing that life functions perfectly well without the psychological fiction of a controller. Then the seeker asked the question that always comes at this point. If there is no self, then what am I? Maharaj never answered this conceptually, because any concept would become a new identity, another subtle object to protect and improve. Instead, he pointed to the undeniable fact of being, the simple sense I am before it becomes I am this or I am that. Before personality, before story, before identity, just the raw, unconstructed sense of presence. That alone is real, not as a personal entity, but as the field in which all appearances arise. The tragedy of human suffering is not that we feel pain. It is that we build an imaginary center and assign all pain to it. Then we spend decades trying to heal the center, instead of questioning whether it was ever there. The seeker finally asked, almost in a whisper, so all my efforts to improve myself, all my struggles were unnecessary. Maharaj would not say they were meaningless. He would say they were part of the dream of becoming. But at some point, maturity arrives, and the question shifts from, how do I fix myself, to who is this self I am trying to fix? And when that question is looked into without imagination, without philosophy, without belief, the fixer and the fixed dissolve together. What remains is not emptiness in the negative sense. It is freedom from a burden that was never real, like waking from a dream in which you were desperately trying to repair a broken character, and suddenly realizing you were never that character at all. This is why Maharaj's teaching is not comforting, it is liberating. Comfort supports the illusion, clarity ends it. And so the invitation is not to improve yourself, not to perfect yourself, not to repair yourself. The invitation is to look directly, silently, honestly for the one who needs fixing. If you find it, then continue the project. If you cannot find it, the search itself ends. And what remains has never been damaged, never been incomplete, never needed repair. That is why Maharaj said, stop trying to fix the self. It does not exist. And perhaps the most unsettling question of all is this: if the one you have been trying to heal your entire life is only a ghost, who or what has been living all along?